again, slightly longer break than usual.
Hi.
As I grabbed a drink. And uThermal is eating a salad. So we're going to be waiting anyways, but it should be almost done soon. Snute has chosen the first map since he won the coin toss, and it is Ascension to Ire, so a map we did not see at all yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, this one is from the Korean tournament. We saw plenty of it over there, but anyways, exclamation mark vote, guys. You guys do me a favor and click that link. Apparently it's being kind of borky. I'm not sure what the bot's doing.
Borky? We had 2 new subs too. I don't think we
no, I got one of them before the break. The
Ah.
other one that was subbed during the break, so thank you, Bigness001.
Very good. Well, yeah. Get your votes in and all that. So I guess while we're waiting.
Oh wow. I don't want to reveal the votes on stream because I don't want to influence the votes. But 2 of these maps are like dominating the rest. Like
Interesting. I should vote. I'll vote later.
yeah, again, I want to make it clear. You guys can vote on as many of the maps as you want. You can vote on 1, you can vote on 2, you can vote on 5, you can vote on all 15. But you can only vote once.
Yeah. What was I doing? Showing the map, that's right. Because speaking of choosing your maps, maybe you need a refresher on the maps we saw in the Korean tournament.
Yep.
Which hopefully Snute is specifically trying to provide us. Maybe that's his plan all along. But here's Ascension to Ire. You can see it in game. So it's kind of a fairly like standard looking map. Not too much to like be like, oh my god, what's going on here? But so you can see like the main base, the natural. The third base is a little tricky because you either go on the low ground or you go kind of like far away. We saw TvZ on this map, which meant that the big, humongous bases were definitely abused. And it should be very different. Well, it should be somewhat different in TvZ, because TvZ is not so much about the doom drops and the tank positioning when it comes to your main bases. Now, it's more about tank positioning when it comes to your 4ths and 3rds. There's a gnat somewhere. But uThermal's done eating, so we can get you a game.
Also, gotta give big shout-outs. What a guy. What a guy. I got to meet him for the first time at TwitchCon last year. It's Lag TV's Maximus Black for the 26-month resub. Unfortunately, I have neither autotune nor the skills to sing to welcome you back appropriately, but thank you for the sub, man. I appreciate it.
That's what you get, autotune. So your
That
voice
feel when you're
doesn't
so
break.
bad at that feel when you're so bad at singing, even autotune can't help.
Well, we're just waiting for the readies.
By the way, for those who have got the link to vote, this is not like a race to vote. You've got till like this evening to figure it out. So I would recommend maybe chilling if you're feeling a little conservative, like if there's maps you haven't seen yet, like Ascension to Ire, for example, because you didn't get to catch the Korean tournament. Wait until you see all of them before you necessarily do it. Because again, you can only vote one time.
Yeah, calm the food down, everyone.
No, I mean, I'm glad people are voting too. The reason they brought it for this after the first best of 7, I thought it would go longer, first off, which is a little unfortunate, but not everyone's going to be here to the end of the broadcast, and I want to make sure everyone had a chance to vote.
God.
At any
That's
rate,
true.
we continue testing new maps here in a brand new best of 7. Spawning here in the bottom right side, it's going to be the blue Zerg player from Team Liquid. Give it up for Snute.
In the top left is the red Terran. It is Liquid uThermal.
Wait, what was that?
In the top left.
No, go on.
What? It is Liquid
Ne-
uThermal?
Liquid. Wait a minute. Is this like the same Liquid that his opponent's on?
Yeah. I did mention it was a team fight.
Wow. This is... I mean, look at the L's in their names, first off. I had no idea that these guys were even related, much less on the same team.
I don't know where you're going with this, and I can't help.
This is crazy. Team Liquid versus Team Liquid?
I'm confused, guys.
I just... This never happens. I'm so confused myself.
Oh, that's what's happening. I get it now. Yeah, that never happens.
Hey, is this the map with the Ewoks? No, it's not. Feels bad.
No, isn't that Paradise Lost?
No, Paradise Lost has all the people double fisting their drinks at the beach.
I thought that was the same thing. Because I remember like saying like, oh, I was so busy checking out the parties. How did I not notice this?
Oh, maybe it is. I don't remember. It's a green map. That's all I really remember.
Okay, well then, it wasn't it. And you get a summoner for the new Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much.
Are you sure that's Summoner?
What? Oh,
And
no. Oh my
not
god. Oh, you're so
Cerner?
tricky. Oh my god. I like literally the difference of like 6 inches, like going forward is like Cerner, and then going backward is Summoner. Man, that's tricky. You got me.
Wait, 6 inches? What?
Like if you move forward with your head to look to
Oh,
look at it.
okay. I thought this was a little bit looter than it was
Why
intended.
would you ever think that?
Regardless, he's actually been around for a while. I don't know why it's saying sub for the first time. Maybe you let a sub drop. Either way, dude, glad to have you back. Thanks for being on
See,
board.
that's what really threw me off. When he was a resub, I remember to check.
Wow, you heard it here, guys. If you're a resub, that's the only time Senpai will notice.
We'll notice
It's like
correctly.
you stop subbing. Rifkin remembers you, but Mom doesn't. Yeah, uThermal Sweeper gets picked up. A little bit annoying. I guess, do we want to go over the base layouts for those who haven't seen this, by the way? Like, these thirds and fourths are a little bit weird.
Well, yeah, so I talked about it with the map preview, but this specifically is like, if you take this third base, then you can kind of defend this too, but the Doom drops from the top position into this side of the base is just really annoying to deal with. And that's probably going to happen to Snute at least once, a fully unloaded drop. So, I mean, you can take this base too, but it is a little farther away from your natural. Well, actually, they're probably somewhat the same distance. Yeah. But it doesn't quite create that triangle that a lot of base layouts like. But it does put you farther away from your opponent. As you can see, just straight here to here is the path that uThermal's army is going to take most of the time. He does intentionally veer off to the north. Check for the third base. Oh, we have a Raven on the way.
How many times are you gonna beat that dead horse, Rifkin? I don't know what you're talking about, man. It's insane, and it's a unique first-time response. I've never seen Team Liquid fight against Team Liquid in one of these tournaments before. And I know that their logo is a horse. I don't know why you'd want me to beat it, though.
Huh, that made it funny. Nothing else was funny until I realized that was a pun.
Okay, we got Hellies coming across the map now. Of course, joining the ones that are on the front line. You mentioned drops, and that's actually where I get really interested in the idea of possibly doing Hellion drops towards the main on this one, because that would be a little bit more difficult to scout. And usually, the only reason Hellion drops fall apart is because there's already lings on top of them before they even come out. With the dead space being here what it is, it could be more difficult. But I like the Overlord spread out of Snute actually down there. He's kind of created this diagonal that should see everything and anything coming towards his base on the minimap.
The armory was not even hidden, by the way. Overlord saw it, and Lings and Banelings were already prepared. These are still going to turn into Hellbats, but I know that he's been making Lings for a while. These ones might be chasing, but there should be more over here.
Hey, thank you to Jay Anus for the Twitch Prime sub.
Well, how'd you do that?
Jay Anus, Aaron, thank you for the Twitch Prime.
Oh, auto turret in the main base is a big trick, you know? Not a Liberator, not a Viking chasing Overlords, but a Raven.
It doesn't kill much, but it does put all the drones off mining. The Hellbats also kind of failed to do much damage up here to the north, but as far as the unit trades go, I guess this wasn't too terrible. But now we got a bust possibly coming out of Snute, and this is a little bit scary because there's only a Hellbat in the doorway.
I really like this decision. I think he was already going to just smack uThermal's attack, but to try and take advantage of it too, like... Definitely go for it. What are we watching? A Protoss here? What's a unit doing filling that hole? This might just be game.
6 inches.
This is, these Hellions should not be able to do enough damage. There's still Queens at home. The production isn't done. Third base is done.
Though.
So if he only kills SCVs, Thermal has a chance to bring it back.
Yeah, and I mean, Mules are going to be pretty good to help band-aid that, but it's not an orbital. It's still just ECC. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Snute is taking some losses himself, but he still sits on 48 drones proudly, and a 4th base on the way. Continue to attack into the natural of uThermal while this goes on. The depots go down. That's going to be annoying to deal with. I don't know if he can break the ramp. This is probably going to be the end of his attack. here, but he's done so much damage to uThermal.
Yeah, 56 drones to 23 SCVs is pretty bad. Kind of unrecoverable, even though uThermal has his production now finished, stim finished, starport ready to go. Like, he's gonna have to really utilize those. Like, not just have them threatening, but actually get kills with it. His Raven even goes down after only getting 5 drone kills total, I believe, so that's not too impressive. Snute managed to fit in a 4th base as well here. That's surprising, I didn't see that. And uThermal is just in a real pickle. He doesn't even have units to put in medevacs if he had medevacs.
Oh, that's a tough way to put that. He could have just said he's got nothing, and I think it would have sounded a lot less harsh.
That's the point, man. Thank you to Biff.
Oh my god, does he have the sports almanac? Is he gonna use it to win bets and become rich?
Maybe.
Back to the Future.
Let's become
Have you
friends
seen
with that guy.
one? Do you like Back to the Future at least?
Yeah, I love Back to the Future.
Okay.
Generally, the older movies I'm usually on board with.
Yo,
Except Monty
the other-
Python.
I always confused Blast from the Past with Back to the Future when I was
See,
younger.
I can... Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I could definitely see mixing up the names if you're young. Or just don't even know the franchise that well.
I had a lot of trouble with words growing up, actually, just thinking on it. Like, the lyrics to Ice Ice Baby.
I think a lot of people did. Because, like, I know I definitely did. It's just a matter of remembering which ones. It's a whole learning process, this English language, isn't it?
Right? Okay, we do have Medevacs finally out. He's going to try and move, but Snute sees that coming with an Overlord from so far away.
Yeah.
Not to mention, his creep spread's gotten really out of hand, and uThermal is just going to struggle
Wow.
coming across the map like this.
A bit of a sub-train going on. I don't know why, but I like it. Thank you to Bouvier. Which is what I'm going to go with. Bouvier?
Bouvier sounds like a really
sub.
fancy French name.
It
Like
looks like a
live it-
French name, so maybe
like-
that's what he's going for.
Olivia Bouvier from Le Chateau. I'm gonna pretend that it says bull eyes, kind of like bullseye.
But it's more like Bulvise.
Bull. Yes, I look at you not with one eye, but with bull eyes.
Bulvise. That's not even an accent. Oh god. Oh man, uThermal had one shot back into this game, and that's to abuse the hell out of medevacs. Unfortunately, mutas are already on the way, so that's not going to last very long. Lings mess up the pickup micro, so he only managed to pick up 5 Marines, and this is just... Oof. Ooh, you know.
Why are we talking about French eggs?
What's that you talking about?
Oof. Isn't that French for egg?
Wow, you don't know how to pronounce the Lil Lale, but you remember that. Way to go.
Little Adelaide.
God damn it.
Hashtag SpongeBob reference. I get those. I'm young and hip.
You didn't even say it right. You didn't say it right for SpongeBob. Stop saying things wrong.
I slice
Little,
babies.
little.
Dun 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 dun.
You're
Alright,
good. You're good.
if the Widow Mines...
You're not good.
No.
I actually should do that once when I cast. Just things are going terribly wrong and just SpongeBob it up. You're good. You're good.
Thermal, I mean, the nice thing is the geyser, the minerals, this ramp, it actually creates a really awesome fallback choke for him. But the problem is, Suit's just got
Oh,
so much.
no.
He can put so many banelings into that little hole and shove it right up uThermal's ass.
That's
GG.
not right, man. That's not PG.
What?
PG. That's not PG.
I said GG.
No, that's not PG.
Are you saying BGs?
Yo, PG and Peachy sound really similar. Is that why? Or do people just like peaches?
Yeah, you got to keep it peachy keen. So it's how it got the name.
I don't hear many people say Peachy Keen. I hear mostly Peachy. And then I have an uncle
By the way,
Peachy.
I feel like saying this isn't going to influence the map votes anymore. Paradise Lost is like 40% higher voted than every other map.
You influenced everyone via your amazing casting and excitement. on
It's
that
not
map.
just me, dude. Nate was pretty pro Paradise Lost too. Actually, I was going back and watching some of his VODs from that. By the way, yeah, if you guys didn't see, Nate was casting a lot of the matches alongside us for this, and games we didn't cover, he did, that are up and available on his YouTube channel.
That's right.
So I'd recommend that you definitely check those out if you want to take a peek at the maps. I've been a little bit more relaxed about it today. I'm gonna really be driving it home tomorrow, like social revolution movement, guys, whatever you want to phrase it. Like, Blizzard listens to feedback when it hits like the front page of Reddit. Blizzard listens to feedback when people make a lot of noise about it. I think the problem is the Team Liquid map contest is very professional and quiet and done with. So that's how we end up with maps a lot of people hate. Even the judges who vote no on all these maps, they're kind of surprised when some of them make it to the ladder pool. So I think if we make enough noise and we let people, specifically folks at Blizzard, know what you want to see on the ladder, what type of maps the direction should be, like, maybe it's not just me. Maybe everybody is sick of like these experimental maps and would just prefer a standard map pool. I'm not saying that's the case, but it's something where we have to have our voices heard. So again, this isn't like anarchy. This isn't like riot. This is just like rallying you guys to actually speak up for once. If you're the quiet listener, vote in the poll. If you've got a Reddit account, possibly post on it. Like, tomorrow's when I'm going to really drive this home as we go through that 10 map finals.
Possibly post on it. Yeah.
Actually, Reddit sucks. Don't even use Reddit.
But you're not
Reddit's...
wrong. It's what makes it to the front page of Reddit that seems to really get Blizzard's attention.
I know.
So if you're going to use Reddit, use responsibly and for good. The next game is going to be Hunger Game. The 5th Hunger Games. Actually, I think we've only seen it 3 times. This will be the 3rd Hunger Games, I think. Yeah, the 3rd Hunger Games.
May the gods be ever in your flavor.
Yeah.
Transform and pig out.
Yep.
Okay, this map actually does have some... I'm like 50-50 with this, actually. I really hated the map design when I first saw it. I don't really hate it as much, but I want to see both of these players, one of these players, abuse the fuck out of it so we can determine whether it's broken or not. There's certainly some abusable things you can do, but speaking of abuse, people subbing with names I can't pronounce. Thank you to Nath1607 for having a simple name. Unless it's Nath, in which case, damn it. Anyways, spawning here to the south. Ouch, I hit my microphone. It's going to be the blue Terran player, Liquid Thermi, aka uThermal.
In the top position as the Red Zerg, it's Liquid Snutes. Dun dun dun.
So let's actually show these side paths for those who haven't seen this map yet. These go all the way down the sides of the map, top to bottom. There's no rocks, there's no ramps. The only way to get in is either through drops, apparent pylon warp-ins, or mining out this gold base from the other side. So, needless to say, you're pretty safe on the backside of this for a while. And while it does present a problem potentially with Reapers, Zombie actually noted just how long it takes to go from like all the way behind back to the main. Like, it's not going to be a problem for Reapers.
Well,
The problem though is later on. Sorry, what?
You talking about the back row? Back? Like,
No,
how
no,
could
just
it be a
Reaper.
problem?
No, just regular Reapers. I'm talking like up by the main and stuff.
Oh, okay. I was like, how did they get back there?
Anyways, my point of this is, well, they could throw a grenade over the minerals, obviously.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you mentioned that.
But the problem is we talked about there's a lot of things. I look at this map and there's just a lot of abusive tank positions. Okay, that's one thing. Maybe Overlord drops are another pain in the ass. But the worst part of this map we actually got to see with Bly versus Denver is if you try to take that third outside, this gap between the two bases is an almost impossible fight to take. Doesn't matter whether you're the Terran or the Zerg in this instance, like nobody's going to want to have to defend this wide open area to keep their third from getting killed.
Right. It's going to be a little less complicated for TvZ, where generally the second to third bases aren't the complicated area of the matchup, unlike ZVP. But it might play a part. Certainly, I think in this matchup, it's going to be more about those tank ledges that you were talking about, and I really hope that we see uThermal trying to abuse them, because what's unfortunate is that sometimes the Terran doesn't even, like, you know, they don't think of it. They think, I'll go Water Mines this game, and we don't get to see the potential abuse. Or Snute maybe doesn't take this base. Maybe he takes this base, which would be surprising, but possible. Reaper has a lot of room to maneuver once it's in the main base, I guess, but not a lot of room to actually escape, just the 2 ledges over here. So getting to the back of your opponent's base, like getting to the natural, is going to be quite difficult, and that's going to be some good times for hidden structures, you know? Roach Warren, not having a lot of drones, things like that. Reaper usually gets to scout, sometimes even first. On some maps, you expand outward. Oh, not here. Overlord is like, please, love of God, I thought this was not going to be something where they could hit me. But Snute was wrong.
These Marines, this is like real bully territory, actually.
It is, isn't it?
So against the Overlord, he's going to lose 3 to 4 Marines possibly for this, though, as the Lings do get across the map very quickly. But it was, in my opinion, worth if it's the pick-off, because it keeps this from possibly turning to the drop Overlord, which becomes a ferry for the Lings, and becomes all kinds of problems. So that Reaper was zipping and zooming around the backside of the map. Again, it's so weird to think about, like, Snoot's third connecting to the natural on the backside. Like, I can see 3 racks Reaper being a problem over there, but not in terms of, like, what zones out the ramp.
Okay, Snute.
Oh,
takes
do you
this
like mint
base.
chocolate? For
I
real?
love mint chocolate chip.
Dude, me and Nate were having a real bro moment over mint chocolate chip. The 3 of us
closed.
at oh, I don't know if it's been announced yet. Well, the next time the 3 of us are together, we should get mint chocolate ice cream.
Oh, I was like, what's unannounced? Okay. Yeah, I flip-flop between strawberry and mint chocolate chip being my favorite, like, based on the going out, but it's a pretty good flavor. And for those, I guess, on YouTube, someone said that mint wasn't a good flavor, and I just had to, or wasn't a flavor even. Someone said that, and that was just
What?
plain wrong. I know,
What?
right? I know. But you know what else? I love pineapple on pizza.
There's this stupid image going around. Someone took a picture of like an actual pineapple that they slapped a piece of pizza onto.
Yeah.
It makes me feel so agitated, and not because I think like the pineapple pizza dynamic, because I look at that piece of pizza, I'm like, that just looks like a 50-cent piece of pizza, dude. You got that out of like a box in your oven. Like, that is not a good looking piece of pizza.
I was going to talk about something, but I really, truly forgot. I know I was going to mention this base before the pause happened and how it's interesting I took it, but I do like it better because this one just looks like Tank City. Don't take this one. But this one just puts you right there, you know, right on the path to the Terran's push. I guess both do.
The concern too is like this kind of brings back the what was that one map? Star Station tier of drops. Like, okay, the Queens are a problem right now. You pass this for a moment hypothetically. Lings come in, Banley's trying to catch you, so you just pick up and then load on that cliff right above it. You're still pushing off that mineral line.
Yeah, the entire left side. I mean, that's probably why Snute has so many overlords over there, but he's doing a really good job tracking the medevac so far. Creep spread hasn't really started yet, so this is where I guess there's another complication that I didn't really think about, but in terms of creep spreading, it's going to be weird, because you do want some creep spread back here. You want to have that scouting as opposed to overlords, because overlords get sniped. But in doing so, you know, that's one less queen spreading creep over here, and there's a lot of directions to spread creep too. But he manages to juke out the Lings. Psych, they went to the main while he went to the third base, and Snute just lost all those queens I was trying to talk about, spreading their creep.
Yeah, the medevac didn't even go down, by the way. Getting close to, but just in the red. I mean, that's a big mistake out of Snute, actually. That's going to hurt him.
Yeah. This early on, if uThermal is going to meet up with 2 more medevacs, which is exactly what he's doing, oh, it could be brutal. It's a good thing that Snute already has a Baneling nest, because if he didn't have Banelings, then he would be screwed. And you know what? He only has 1 Baneling. Oh, you don't help at all. Oh no, this actually might be something for uThermal to win here. If he gets to a good position, snipes the Banelings that are on the way, or just gets the hatchery and leaves, he might be able to get up with at least 3 medevacs. That one's trying to be target fired.
I like the focus fire on single Baneling. Feels bad, man, but it's a good thing Snoot's got 1 game to start off the series with.
There you go.
Oh, this Banelings didn't even kill the Marines. uThermal's on fire with the focus, and he's looking so good as he pushes over to pick off the last remaining queen. Drone's running up to the high ground, but GG's get called, and Liquid Thermi ties up the series 1-1.
I wanted to mention one more thing, but unfortunately the camera kind of changes when you go to out of the real game. Yeah, that map has like a dust filter on it. Like, I was
did
wondering
not
why I felt
notice.
so uncomfortable watching the map. I was like, there's something off about this map. And I realized that it's kind of like, it's like a dulled map, you know? Like, there seems to be like a haze going over it, but I've already seen it.
I hadn't noticed, to be honest. I'll
I,
keep an eye out next time.
it started to really throw me off the more I watched it. I was just like, this just looks uncomfortable. Anyway, we're gonna go to a quick break. After that game, it's all tied up 1-1, and Acolytes will be next. Thanks for watching. Welcome back. Thank you for watching those ads. We are on to Acolytes, which we did see once, maybe? I don't really remember saying Acolyte too often.
This was actually only played, I think, twice in total that we saw. There was definitely a game played on Crank's
that's
stream.
right. I remember this now, because the mini-map preview is so much more purple than the
actual
in-game.
map, yeah.
Okay.
This is another one made by Enic. So this is the guy who made Hunger Game
And Avex. For the aesthetics.
Assassin Station. So you know it's going to be a quality map.
Hey, some people like this map that I've heard.
Some people don't.
I guess that's a good counterpoint.
Okay, we're getting into it though. Bottom left side of the map, he just had the series tied up on him 1-1. It's going to be the blue Zerg player, Team Liquid Snute.
On the top right is the red Terran. It's Liquid uThermal.
I will actually say that this actually wasn't too terrible of a map. I'm just making some jokes, but if you want to zoom out really quick and show off that pocket natural versus the 3rd and 4th, that's where this does get a little bit interesting.
Mm-hmm. Tanks can siege up and hit the gas geyser. To note.
Do those look like glow sticks to you, the gas geysers, or is that just me?
That's just you. I can kind of see what you're talking about, though. Especially the one on top. Yeah, so
Yeah, we had TY in time on this map, which was a really fun game.
And then we had another one. Was that the no regret one where he tried to all in on like 4 bases? That was. Okay, not even really worth talking about. The only reason I remembered it was because I was like, someone took this base first, and then this base, and then they kept this for a long time. And while that game was kind of funky and weird and not at all what anyone
No
planned.
regrets.
That might just be the way that, yes, like, Zergs will play this map if it was in the map pool, is to take this base, maybe if they're feeling super confident, take one of these other bases, and then leave their base, their easy access base, for later. I mean, that's what started to happen on Vonnie Research Station, after all, and one other map that I can't think of right now, so it's a possibility. But I think if it's a new map, you're going to take this as your 3rd. This is still pretty safe to do.
Yeah, I mean, just taking the base that gets the creep spread going first. Especially when you're considering that it is a player like Snute. But he's also throwing down 6 links pretty quick, and he's going to try and dart across the map, and this is not going to be an endeavor that gets a command center or anything like that.
I don't believe it was a pool first, though, right? He might just be thinking that Reaper play is going to be annoying.
That could be true. It is uThermal, and this guy likes to do 3x Reaper when given the opportunity.
Yeah. But, yeah, again, other key points, I guess. This is, like, your 4th, probably, planetary, especially for a Terran player. You can reach with a tank to the gas geyser, but I doubt that'll be worth doing against a Zerg player. It just will be a little bit too late and won't be quite covered like it is in TvT. These bases are all normal, even if they're covered. They might look like they're covered, they're not. You don't have to break down any flora or whatever to do anything. And, of course, you have these
Flora?
bases.
What about the fauna?
Whatever, man. Floral, fauna, coral. It's similar enough.
Coral!
Coral. Coral, that kills people. Coral can kill people. You can get scraped on it, and then you can bleed out in the ocean, Rifkin. Coral kills. Anyways. We now have Ling scouting every which way. I don't know why, but they are.
Why do you have, like, fun coral facts in your pocket ready to go? You gotta be like the most boring person to have that in your back pocket as like your small talk of conversation.
Hey, that was an interesting thing, man. Who talks about who has interesting facts about coral? Okay, if people
Nobody,
have interesting
but
facts
that's kind of the
about
point.
nuts, that's boring. Because who cares about nuts? But coral is important to our Earth, Rifkin. And is the
I would say every single guy cares about their nuts.
good one. And if you watch any of these shark movies, horror movies or whatever, or anything to do with like being alone in the ocean on like a deserted island, there's a lot of scenes where they're in the ocean and they get cut on coral. So that's also why I know it. Things to know. So anyway, we had a Hellion opener into a two-base build so far. Just getting that stim, another couple barracks, but a third base will be on the way shortly. Snute takes this base as his third, so I really thought he was going to play it a bit safer, you know? It's a new map, you don't quite know where the attack paths are going to be. But no, he takes it like it is. The old hat, you know? Like, there's no problem.
Camouflagio.
Also, where are you going, guys? What do you think you're doing?
They're gonna go expand, obviously, Zombie
Well,
Grove.
one of them is, and the other one had misconceptions about what was going to happen.
Look, it was just awkward because they were both given the same job, and they didn't realize it was like a clerical filing error.
Oh, but this guy
Wow,
gave up.
that's a lot of saturation at the...
25,
Oh.
16.
Be so glad those Hellions didn't get in there.
Yeah, right. Well, the third base is now up and running. So,
He's got 3 hatcheries in production. He's got a macro hatchery in the main while this is going on. Jeez.
oh yeah, they're really just getting boosted here, man. Like the Overlord has not quite seen the third base, which sucks. Like really, because he just move right on over. But he's probably figuring it's on the way because he hasn't been attacked yet, right? And if there was really no third base, there probably would have been an attack on the way. Suit's map presence is surprisingly low, considering his like initial eagerness to have Lings out. There we go. I guess uThermal's doing a decent job with his Hellions cleaning all that up. But this is kind of an interesting point about the map, I guess, that these El Nagas really aren't covering... Well, they could potentially cover the very important attack path if this was the right side, right? But if they go through the middle, they can't really see it.
Well, as the game goes on, we have someone desperate enough to use caps intermittently. I gotta say, you gotta go all caps or no caps on this one, Beastman. You can't just like,
Also,
hey, with
don't-
like HE
Don't
and
put
then
it
lowercase.
twice. Don't put it twice. Not,
What
not
else
this
is he trying to
fast.
send a secret message? Anyways, he does have a fair question, and that is, when is the Ting wildcard groups? Because we were actually originally scheduled to broadcast that today, but we had things hiccup and change, and the new date is set for, I want to say March 3rd or something. Don't actually remember off the top of my head, but we moved it because of GSL. We'll talk more about it later. We have this attack coming our way, however.
Yeah, Stu was able to see this as he did as Onaga, and he has enough units prepared for it too. Not too bad to clean up, but gotta be a little careful. uThermal was gonna be on top sniping those banelings. Stu has enough banelings that I don't think it's actually possible to snipe all of them, but uThermal would have tried. Upgrades finishing up now for Snutes. He will need them, as uThermal's looking to reinforce this point, not just pick up and go somewhere else. And speed has only just started, so he's going to continue bleeding out banelings if they're the only things going forward here off of creep. uThermal's taking some pretty nice trades, pretty fancy trades.
Yeah, you know, like between the last game and this one, it's for me, we were actually talking like, who do we invite to this? Like, is uThermal even playing blah blah blah? And the question was like, what shape is he in? I'm just glad to see his micros on point, because damn, this guy's been doing some serious focus fire and great control.
Yeah. This ends up being the most complicated spot for Snute since losing his creep spread here. Finally has enough banelings to feel confident moving forward. We do have uThermal to shaking out as many lings as possible. Once he takes out the lings, chasing down the banelings is not too difficult, and baneling speed is still a ways away, so that was a big overextension by Snute there.
This is the problem too, you know, the base being so far away. Like, yeah, creep spread was there, but this is the macro hatchery reinforcements from the very bottom left of the map to get all the way here.
It's so important that he doesn't lose any lings. I mean, it's kind of in a way almost pleasing to see that Snute finally gets punished for his extreme greed early on. Like, you know, the bit later upgrades, but more importantly, the later baneling speed and the 80 drones. But damn, uThermal.
It's just in Zombie Grove hates Snute, guys.
Yeah, right. Totally. Exactly what I meant. Now we have
what I
Widow
got.
Mines. We still don't have creep spread despite the queens being alive, and now they're going to start getting shot down as her transfuses get used. And this is still a very complicated position. This isn't really... I don't think it would usually be a weak point of the map, to be honest, but it's making it look that way. It's just that Snute played a little too greedy, and uThermal has really good micro. That's it.
I'm just amazed that Snoot's army supply never got like above 50 for the longest time, and I mean, uThermal's just been... This wasn't anything super crazy. This wasn't like weird tanks positioned or like...
Nope.
like, this was just Marines going ham.
Yeah, definitely taking advantage right there. I mean, I said I was glad to see him in a joke about being, anti-Snute and all that. But, we saw yesterday Hero Marine have a couple of good games against Snute. But any game that he tried to do what uThermal did there, like try to actually pressure in the mid game, he would take bad engagements, lose, still have like a 20-minute game, but always be losing because of it, and just, would eventually really lose. And that's why it's cool to see that Snute's style isn't absolutely perfect. He can't be punished for going for that much.
Yeah, we're so used to having this like ironclad early defense, 10 queens, blah blah blah. But I guess if you go like 5 hatcheries, whatever. Wind Waker is going to be coming up next. This was actually not a bad map. I really enjoyed this one actually. Thank you by the way to Saint Toast or Stut Toast for the 13-month resub, and he asks in chat, is BaseTradeTV still giving away Partoofs for the 12-month resub? Yes, absolutely. All you gotta do is send us a message on the channel. Not a whisper. We have whispers disabled, okay? But a direct message on the channel, so I can feed it to the bot, and the bot will spew you out in a form to fill out to get your Partoof from Zombie Grub or myself.
Yep.
But let's be honest, it's probably Zombie Grub.
Well, you don't send them out at all anymore, do you?
Only ones that get missed or like people are complaining, like, oh, I never got mine from Zombie Grub.
Actually, there was someone who will be maybe complaining soon, but that's their fault because apparently they gave me a bad address. So, again, PSA, as we are getting closer to the end of the month, I guess, like, make sure your address is fucking correct. I swear to God, you guys.
Yeah, you can fill out that form again, by the way. Like, if you feel like you filled it out wrong, if you're a little bit paranoid, please just fill it out correctly, because we don't like wasting money or, more importantly, time to mail these out. Like,
money especially. Like, this cost $3 to mail, and it came back because it went to Germany. So whoever is OTT Mattis, doesn't sound familiar, so maybe just a lurker, but you did not get your Partoof because it's apparently wrong. So
yeah, I felt really bad. He's been gone from the channel for a while. Some of you guys may remember the name Zella Sam. I think he got really upset about not getting his, but he filled out his address thing funny too, and I was just... Yeah, we want to get these to you guys. We literally have hundreds of them we want to give away. So please give us your address, your correct address. Also, thank you for Falcon for being so helpful in chat. Glad to have you around, man. Hope you're having a good day. As we hop into this new map, though, Wind Waker looks deceptively small. We'll talk about it in a moment. So we haven't seen this tournament, or we haven't seen it in this tournament yet. This is the first time it's appeared in the Foreigner tournament. Top left side of the map, we have the Blue Zerg player from Team Liquid. It's Snute.
The bottom right is the Red Terran, also from Team Liquid. It's uThermal.
All right, so natural base, it's kind of like whatever. It's nothing too strange, nothing too gimmicky. It just has a fairly larger than average choke to it. The interesting question now is thirds. Which do you take?
Yeah, this one or this one. I think we've seen both taken at this point, but in different matchups, some more important to note than others. So yeah, this naturally is really not too much to talk about. There's like a little ledge, but you're not really going to abuse tanks back there. I don't think. If you take this base, maybe the rocks are in your favor, maybe they aren't. So you might want to break those down. If you take this base, you're kind of on the... I guess there's kind of a choke for them to go through, but there's also a platform they could go up on, and like tanks could siege up and just shoot down, which would suck for a Zerg player. But if you take this space, then kind of the same thing can happen here.
Yeah, it's got different attack paths, which are just interesting to me. But it is still just that question of like, which base do they take comfortably as their third, if comfortably is even the right word, and does it go to a fourth? The thing about uThermal, though, is these pushes and these attacks. I feel like what I do enjoy about this sort of style of Terran is it's kind of... Because you're relying on medevacs and timing, it doesn't really matter what the map looks like. You can have the weirdest zigzag in the middle of the map. You're not rallying forward. You're dropping, right? So uThermal may not be playing specific or special to the map, but he is playing well, and his control, again, top-notch watching this play.
Yeah, but I do prefer the test for that. I think tanks are still the ultimate test, because what if TY finds the most abusive spot ever in GSL when one of these maps are included in that, like, then that's obviously a problem. But if the preferred way is still the standard way, then it's still a good test. So there is a Reaper Cliff, by the way, this can use. I don't know if uThermal will do that.
Yeah, if you want to show it off, I guess. But I was just gonna note, actually, it's interesting to consider. This might be the first year of GSL where you actually have a lot of the Koreans and the top Koreans competing in it on top of that, streaming. So a lot of these things that kind of get saved to the nth hour, and like seeing only Supernova do it if you happen to watch his stream, like that actually might not be the case anymore. It might be a lot more popular and a lot more easy to figure out as a consequence. Also, I love, by the way, Sue and Stats doing well in GSL, and they've both been streaming very frequently.
Oh yeah.
I was legit worried that some of the guys who've been streaming more would struggle, because it's like, well, if you're streaming all the time, people are seeing how you play. It's easy to figure out.
It's kind of, I don't know if it's the right word, but like in a way, it's kind of like, see, you guys could have been doing it the entire time. Coaches are wrong.
Right? I mean, it's a little bit petty to phrase it like that, but I'm totally in agreement with that statement and sentiment. Also, side note with Stats, I'm not sure what's going on with him. Oh, hey, Hero Marine, thank you for the 486 viewers. Big love, dude. Hope you had a good stream. Short and sweet, but glad to have your viewers come join us. As well as Holly1337. She's got some elite speak in her name, and she's good for kissing under. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. But I was going to mention, Stats has been talking to me a lot lately on BattleNet, which is weird.
He likes you.
Well, so that's the thing, right? Like, pros have messaged me before to talk about things, just have conversations about tournaments or whatever, but it's usually on Skype or through Twitter DMs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Stats is literally the first person to strike up casual conversation with me on BattleNet. And it's just, I'm like, yeah, I'm playing co-op. What are you up to, man? Like, don't judge me, okay? Because I'm a filthy casual. Aw,
that's cute. We do have a mix on the 2-on-1, so important to note. Also, thank you to Bojangles 1337. 12137.
You and Holly should get together, man.
Why?
Because they both got 1337 in their name. Unless it's their last name.
Yeah, sorry. Right. But the build. So the Hellions going to be a surprise, and if Stu doesn't have Banelings for this, then it's not an automatic loss, but you're going to take some damage. And even if you do have Banelings, with uThermal's control, it might not be enough. So here come the Hellions. Snute didn't bother really scouting into the main base, so he doesn't know that there was a little trick to this. And his Baneliness isn't quite done.
Well, the Queens are also out of energy. They put down a lot of creep tumors, so we're not seeing any chance. Well, I shouldn't say any chance. This actually ends up going a little bit better for Snute than I expected. He does have that nice round with drones, which was just that nice amount of damage. And most importantly, didn't get fried up. So only 7 workers died. But a couple of the Queens went down, which was kind of painful. 2 of them. Exactly a couple.
Exactly a couple. And
like
they might have been a
Bojangles
couple.
and Holly.
Exactly.
So, I mean, when you have 2 last names like that shared, do you assume brother and sister or husband and wife?
Honestly, if it's a guy and a girl, I guess I'd assume husband and wife. So, that's on me. But we don't know. I mean, wait, what if Holly's a guy? Leslie's a guy's name.
I'm not going to get into that.
My grandfather's name was Leslie.
That's unfortunate.
Wow. Whatever.
Hellbat on the left side might get picked up and scooped up. I don't know. He's almost got tricks up his sleeve, but looks like he doesn't want to risk it. Positioning here is pretty good. He'll trade out for a lot of minerals through this. I love that pickup, and I love that control. Queen goes down, and both Hellbats still standing.
Oh, these queens, they got moved the wrong place and just got lazy. They could have been helping this entire time. Hellions try to move in over here, but there's more queens, so not too much to be said there. Drone's trying to get the last couple shots, and miss micro, so misses that one. Oh well. If he says the medevac, it'd be worth the miss micro. But he doesn't.
He doesn't. There's still a really good attack, though. I mean, this took away a lot of uThermal supplies. He doesn't exactly have a lot going for him back at home. But he did run Snute pretty ragged. And you guys will note, Snute, while he may be comfortable getting to 5 bases normally, he's still only on 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I quickly checked everything, and he did come out a little bit worse for wear for it. You know, the upgrades aren't too much faster. The lair, in fact, I think was also... Well, Snute delays his lair a lot more than other Zergs, so I'm not sure if this is late for him or not. It might have been, but... Quick checking the economy, and he definitely dipped for a second when he pulled the drones, but no, he's still winning. uThermal also, of course, didn't have his third base quite ready, so that explains it. But speaking of the bases, he takes this one. uThermal, or Snute took this one, and is going to take this as the fourth, so we wondered about it.
So we have someone in chat asking what material the Partoofs are made out of.
Metal.
Yeah, I was gonna be snarky and respond metal, but it was some alloy. I don't remember. The lady on the phone was describing it to me as the same thing they used to use in genie lamps, and supposedly if you get enough of these together and melt them down. What do you?
What? Sorry, no, I'm sorry. I'm laughing at something else entirely. You continue with your very real, serious points.
Thank you, Tinaldor, for the 13-month resub.
Oh, I'm just kind of sad I ruined it.
I thought I had it pretty well crafted.
You did, but I was so surprised that you actually were kidding that I laughed. I was totally believing that you had a serious point to make, like they're fighting 50% ink or zinc or whatever.
I remember reading. There's a really great Reddit shower thoughts thread that was like, what if genies did used to be real until some jerk wished that they weren't?
I saw that, yeah. The jerk.
Like, whoa. Attack on the left side in the watchtower. Actually, this watchtower provides some really interesting cover.
What the fuck? How many queens
like
are
that,
there?
but...
There's 13 queens. I didn't really realize. And like all on the front lines. But go back to injecting.
Look, he's got macro hatcheries. He doesn't need to inject, zombie grub.
This is stupid. This is just stupid levels. He's banking so much money too. He's gonna get so many mutas.
It does look comical, like straight up, but it's not a bad thing for Snute. The faster you focus on the medevacs, the quicker you take down bio. I mean, the reality is Marauders and Marines are not that good without medevac support.
Also, creep spread just feels useless. I don't even...
Well, you've got so many queens, it doesn't matter, you know? Like, this isn't an issue where you're fighting to, oh, do I larva inject or do I creep chamber? No, you've got like 13 queens. You can do both. It's not a problem.
Someone should like make that meme of the guy that's sweating, you know, like larva inject or transfuse, but instead like the last panel is just 15 queens. It's like, which one do I use it for?
You missed. You aimed and you missed. Both of these Widow Mines barely left alive. He does get an okay connection on the Marines, though. Looks like with the Overseers coming out, he should be able to clean this up. And this will push uThermal back.
He's just getting absolutely destroyed, man. Like, he had a drop over here that just didn't have a chance.
By the way, look at the supplies while this goes on. And I don't mean overall supply, but like 87 drones Snute's gotten away with while this goes on. It's too many drones.
It's too many. Nah, it is. It's insane. Like, look at the income has just risen to... astounding differences.
Wow.
And uThermal is going to continue trying to be aggressive because that's just how uThermal plays, and he's kind of trapped himself into it. But unfortunately, as soon as he saw he didn't do any damage, like the first post-Hellbat attack, he might have just been better off going to a fourth base and turtling, you know, trying to play like Hero Marine.
That gets a couple of the queens, which was nice for him. Starts getting this back, but of course Snute had plenty to lose.
Yeah. I guess we're kind of painting a bleak picture for uThermal, but his armor supply is not bad. It just is a question of can he ever actually get a good engagement, and I just don't think he can.
I like the bait with the lings. Not too bad. The duelists, of course, are not quite numerous.
This is a really cool little hop that I would not have noticed and just died.
No, that's what I like about some of this terrain stuff we get to look at. Snute, though, expanding to this base up to the north. I mean, this has been the attack path uThermal keeps attacking into, so I guess it's not too bad. You're defending your expansion while you expand, but at the same time, you lose control, then you lose that base.
He could probably snipe this base real quick, like, and get out, but he hasn't seen it, so it's a little awkward. Scans the army and just, I mean, I don't even know exactly who's hoping to scan there.
I'm
Probably
really
be better off. What?
He's not making more queens.
Oh. You don't think 8's enough?
I wonder, because I know you can stack larva injects, but what happens if you actually had 15 queens all like inject the same hatchery?
Just never have to inject it again.
Oh god. I feel like that's the hatchery that's like, kill me. It's all dried out and dehydrated, like...
Ugh.
Nice round here in the middle of the map. Widow Mines, though, are going to save both sides of the Marines, but the main front still gets pushed in by those banelings. Mutalists focus firing down the medevacs. Snoot systematically trying to remove them.
These engagements are going, I would say, even much better than the engagements we saw yesterday with Snute versus Hero Marine. Like, it seemed like a lot of it had to do with the Widowmine count, but...
Well, I would say also for uThermal, like, this is a game where he's slowly getting momentum in finally. Like, he was shut down so hard early. And now he's got a pretty good army that comes across the map. Snute's 31 banelings, and that's a lot of banelings. They're not ready just yet.
Mm-hmm. He never went for an invitation pit either, despite, like, that moment where he just seemed to be dominating. So if he continues to lose out in the engagements, it is just a kind of classic tale of flare-based Zerg. Even if you're on 83 drones.
Oh, those Widowmines were not good.
No, but he has a couple of Marauders here. He's going to try and use the choke and ramp to his advantage. No creep spread, so his splits should be at least effective against the Banelings. Or really effective against the Banelings.
The Mutas actually just removed the rest of the Medivacs from the game.
Oh, they're trying to, but they're dying too. Like, the splits were so good by Marine... Or, not Marine King. Whoa. Throwback.
I mean, he is basically being a Marine King right now, though.
Right? That the Mutas, they didn't just get the free reign over Medivacs that we see in a lot of other engagements. Again, going back to Hero Marine versus Snute. They got losses while killing Medivacs. So, I'm impressed. I do think that some of it has to do with Snute, though. I feel like he's being a little too overconfident because he has the entire left side of the map and 83 drones. He's like, whatever. Give it the space, doesn't matter.
Not to mention, like, the amount of creep spread this game. You just have to consider, uThermal's actually killed a considerable amount of creep spread. The fact that Snute still has this much behind it is kind of insane.
Yeah. Well, so that's one trick about this map, I guess, is that it really does seem like you're on the right side or the left side, right? Like most maps, you know, it's not for or against it, but you clean up this side, you feel so good about yourself, and you're like, okay, let's swap over to this side. Oh, shit. Never mind. Let's just try and win on this side. It's gonna be tough. Because at this point, too, if Snute loses this base, he would just transfer over. But so many Marines, not enough to cover the Banelings. They would have gotten slaughtered if they continued forward.
Yeah, that firing squad is a pretty big deal. I like that he pulled back. He's also recognized that the base is probably going to go down, so he transferred the drones away. But as you pointed out, he does have, like, the entire left side of the map. He can transfer, too.
Yep. uThermal has managed to get quite a bit of momentum. Widowmine gets an okay shot, but the Marines are now splitting on. Creeps was off, but all the Banelings are gone. Queen's gotta come in and help.
If he's got no cover for the Mutas, they're seeing it shredded. And uThermal doesn't have a large standing army, but it's doing so much damage
focus
still.
Fire? Oh, no, I didn't really focus fire on the Mutas. Tried to at the last second, but... Okay,
I think of the Overseer, though.
Yeah, that's true. So they're not being cleaned up. He could just reinforce to the same exact point. 17 Mutas still live, 6 more on the way. But where are Snute's Banelings? He might have misjudged how many Mutas he lost in that engagement. That gas probably went better to the Baneling count. Important decisions to be made here. uThermal, this is just his main base, by the way. And I guess he could lift his natural, too.
Feels Terran, man.
Feels Terran.
I wonder if there's some sort of combination where it'd be more efficient to, like, lift your natural first and then move your main to your natural, or some sort of other weird leapfrog around.
Ooh. Just do whatever's the quickest, I guess.
Yeah. Mutas do come in. The count for Mutas actually isn't that great. 23 is good, but it's not great. And Snute's not going to be running away with Mutas unless those get upwards of 30. So it's still going to be really tough taking any of these fights. The biggest thing the Mutas can do is snipe off the Widowmines. But even then, I do want to point out, uThermal's actually been knocking down quite a few Overseers this game. So there's not even that many to detect the Widowmines.
He has 10 Widowmines in total, and he's lost 21. Like, I feel
4
like...
to the north, though.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I'm trying to point that out. So, but this is one of those differences, maybe. Besides having more engagements off of creep, I think, with, like, really good splits, there's also just feels to be, like, more Widowmines that are getting decent shots than the other games we've seen with Snute. That is a lot of Mutas. That is 25 Mutas, but they're kind of clumping up. If any of these Widowmines get hits, man, okay.
Even without that, there's still just so many 3/3 Marines pushing through. I mean, no discredit to Snute. You don't typically prioritize air upgrades at all, but without any carapace, like, I mean, these Marines, again, 3/3, it's going to shred Mutas.
I don't know. Is this the right base to take? Whatever.
Dude, I feel like he's playing chess where he's hopping over his own piece. Like, taking the top right with his natural
do you mean
base.
Checkers?
No, I'm 3 steps ahead of you, Zango.
Okay.
You're playing checkers while I'm playing chess.
The chest that you hop over your own pieces with, I gotcha.
Yeah, with the knight. Hello?
You don't hop over pieces with a knight.
Yes, you do.
Okay, maybe you're in. Maybe you're in technicality.
It moves in an L as well if you didn't know that.
Oh, does it? Alright, well, the engagement's still going pretty well for uThermal. In fact, Snute just might be out of steam here. This is the last units that usually get a
you know what, though? The transfuses are not letting these units die, but he knows where he's at in the game anyways.
GG.
That was actually some pretty insane infuse action at the very end there.
Yeah, that's the desperate action right there. That was really cool by uThermal to win against against a Snute who had powered up to his final form almost. You know, he kept on pressuring, so he never got to Ultra, so I guess he was never truly at his final form, but he had his macro going. What game was that?
That was game 4. Things are now tied up, or not tied up, excuse me. 3-1 is the favor for uThermal. Snute wants to go to Curious Passage next, so we're going to play a commercial break on account of the fact that this may be our last game. And we'll be back shortly. Again, if you guys haven't, make sure to vote on some of these maps, and we'll see you soon.
Welcome back, everybody. We are on what could be the last map of the day. This best of 7. In the top left is the blue Zerg. It's Liquid Snutes.
Yeah, it's Bonnet though. 3 wins on the board and looking fantastic. A lot of this has been all about that control. It's gonna be the red Terran player, Liquid Thermi.
uThermal has just been so impressive. There's 2 guys in this tournament that we just did not know much about lately. Like, they just haven't been playing it much. And that was uThermal and Harsum. Harsum might have gotten 4-0'd by knee, but he got to that point by 4-0'ing, I believe, his other opponents.
Yeah, Harsum actually had really good results leading up to his matches. And again, like today, I'm not even going to hold anyone who loses accountable because we've very much stressed to the players. We wrote on the Team Liquid thread, like, this is about playing however you want. There's no prize money to be gained from winning these matches today. So play however.
Yeah. It's a good point. So the point was that, like, Harsum hasn't playing well, and uThermal is obviously playing very, very well. I would say that's they're kind of. I want to say that their map choices might have been something to the effect of they agreed upon something, because it just seems so coincidental that the first 3 maps were something that we hadn't seen in the Foreigner tournament. So either that, or they really studied and evaluated and were like, I really like that map, even though I didn't get to play on it. I don't know. But,
I mean, it might also be a little bit of Team Liquid influence, right? I don't actually know. So, like, I want to be perfectly clear before I say this statement. I don't really know how the voting works for this from the Team Liquid side. I don't know who's involved or what. But I really wouldn't be surprised if it was something where, like, one of the Team Liquid judges, or however it works, is like, hey, Snute, you guys should pick this map today. We haven't seen enough of it or something.
Maybe. But my end point was kind of just, like, for the other parts of this, they've been playing like we would expect. There's been no wonky tank pushes trying to take advantage of that really small map. There's been no tank pushes really at all, in fact. Just Snute doing what Snute does best, which is, like, playing very greedy early on, getting to what seems to be a super winnable position, and uThermal showcasing his ultra good micro off the back of very standard builds. So this is, I'm glad to see a real test here. They're impressing me through their skill, if not, you know, even if they're not doing anything too wonky and amazing. And I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see that uThermal is still kind of a boss. Maybe he was really hoping to come out hard at Katowice.
Well, I personally got some hopes here where I would love if uThermal got voted back into the finals. Part of this is because, if you guys don't remember, it was him versus Nurchio last year. And I feel like that tournament was just before uThermal got really good. Not to say he wasn't good beforehand, don't make any mistakes, but he wasn't quite the king of Europe the way he is now.
Right.
So it'd be cool to see him come back and end up taking a better finals fight. uThermal and Nurchio as a rematch would be my dream thing to see, but it's going to be on you guys. Oh, that's not a wall on the left side.
No, it's not. That's a little awkward. The Marines,
anyways,
oh no, they're supposed to be a little more tight
condensed.
on the, condensed on the ramp there, but still is going to be just enough. Now, this ends up not being such a bad trade regardless. Like, it's amazing if you kill all the Marines and then you kill SCVs, right? But if you can just kill the Marines, that sometimes is game, but I was gonna say is also just a restart to their build, which is not ideal for Terran, but I'm surprised he tapped out there.
I didn't expect that to get so out of hand, but maybe uThermal's like, you know what, man, I got so many points on the board, I don't give a good gosh golly darn.
Yeah.
I'll just play the next map, whichever one I want.
I didn't get the check before there was a tap out. I guess I should have, if he was making more lings. But if there's like 6 lings, you pull the SCVs, you wait for 3 Marines, actually, because you have 3 Marine production to pop out, and you should be able to take care of it. But as I was talking about, like, you are having to restart your Marine count, and it's not really the greatest push, blah, blah, blah. But I surprising tap out.
By the way, the map votes have been really interesting. I've been watching these still come in a little bit slower now. Everyone kind of burst out at first, but I actually kind of really agree with the general consensus. Again, I'll wait till the stream's almost over before we actually read out what the maps look like. And you guys can still vote even after the stream is over, but the lowest voted map is one I particularly did not enjoy casting on. And the highest voted map is one I particularly did enjoy casting on.
Okay. It's vague. So it is now uThermal's map choice.
Yeah, again, he can pick any of the maps. There's some other ones too that we never really get to see. Like there's Asteroid Barricade and a couple of other weird ones. Oh, that's loud. Thank you, whoever that was. I'll get to that in just a moment. I was just going to finish up my thought by saying I'm surprised, though, Snute never picked Huangsun, just thinking on it, considering that was the map he helped tailor together with Avex.
Yeah.
But who was that coming in? CM Hans Eats. Thank you for the $15. Says, I've never played StarCraft 2, but I love watching your streams. Thanks for keeping it going. Aw, man. That's awesome. And that $15, that's going straight to our tournament fundraiser. We're over 6K now. We got a couple of goals we got to reward you guys with. And don't worry, we're still working on them. We haven't forgotten. We're just so busy. Literally don't have time to do it. Although, as I say that, now we have a week coming up where we're not casting anything because IEM sucks.
It's a big old break. It's vacation.
I guess, but I'm going to go stir crazy. Like, I'm legit going to go stir crazy. But it looks like uThermal is browsing through each of the maps individually, so it will be a few moments here as he figures out which one he wants to hop into.
Trying to find interesting ones. Well, I'd say a lot of them are interesting, but not good interesting. Maybe.
Did you play Bandalore?
Oh, yeah, that one.
Bandalore Ruins, I think, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that's kind of the trick about it, though. Like, that's the map, if you guys don't remember, where the mineral patches are all lower at the start, so main, natural, third. But the problem with that is that players and fans alike might not want to vote it in because, or play on it, because there's basically zero chance that it's going to make it to the ladder. Which makes you wonder why the categories are the way that they were at all. So I don't know.
Just kind of talking with Snute. He brings up a good point though. Like he's not a big fan of maps, so you have to theory craft for 20 minutes to figure out what's the idea. And we kind of talked about that too. Like there's some of these maps we saw where it's kind of cool in concept, but really if you have to spend too much time thinking about the map that you don't even get time to think about your build, then that's not going to be a good map. And if it's something where every time you come into the game it's going to require that and it's not something that'll eventually go away, and maybe it doesn't make it such a great map.
Yeah.
But actually, so kind of a cool thing Snoop's talking about here. I would love if the 7th map in the map pool was like rotated out to be like a tavern brawl type thing or just something weirder. I mean, I fully understand why it's not the case, but that'd be kind of cool to see, I guess.
Well, I think that's something that people have mentioned for StarCraft, especially since Overwatch now has it, is like a tavern brawl type of thing.
Oh, we're gonna Hongsen. Hey.
Yep. kind of hard to make it in
uThermal.
StarCraft though.
uThermal. Snute helped make this map. You're making a mistake, man. OP.
Who did Snute play on the show match of the original edition of it?
I don't remember, to be honest. It wasn't a show match. It was like a whole tournament, right? Like we just did a whole tournament with that being the only map.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it was like a run of blank and a blank. Yeah, but still, for the specific purpose of showing something, I guess I think a show match for.
There you have it. uThermal saying he lost to Lily Canine in his own tournament, though. Kipo.
Okay, that's who it was. Because I do remember him losing the Terrans on the map. That's what sounded familiar.
They did fix the map though. Again, like a lot of the problems that this map had when it was first made. Like first off, this map actually has a really cool story to it. I'm really glad this actually made it into the Team Liquid map contest. But for those who don't know the story behind this, Snute was kind of on this kick for Twitter for a while where he was talking about designing maps. And I think he worked a while on this one, kind of in private and quiet. Then he asked for some help and got Avex involved, and together they crafted this map. And they talked to us. We hosted a tournament on it for them, and this was the only map available in said tournament. It was really cool though, seeing like a pro this influential towards a map's creation.
Yep.
But yeah, there was a couple of issues where back rocks are broken, water is too loud. I guess now the complaint is that the sand's too bright.
The water. Yeah, you mentioned the sand as well. Oh, Snute has to restart.
Yeah, I couldn't see pylons warping in or like the next.
Oh, the liberator range thing.
Oh yeah, you couldn't see the targeting circle at all.
Yeah, that's a big problem. Wow.
Alright, well, looks like Snoot's gonna restart his PC and uThermal might need a break. So let's just hop to our own break. We'll be back here in a moment, guys. And we'll see you soon for game number 5 when we get back.
We're back. Ah. And they're ready. Great. So, a little moment aside, we are going on to Hongsen.
Yep.
uThermal's map choice.
We had Tempo reset for 39 months during that break, and he said, meme. Oh! No, he didn't. He said, the number just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Wow. Heart. Treasure Island. Kappa.
Treasure Island.
He's been a bit of a dick. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna delete our tempo emote. I'm holding you hostage, Tempo. If you don't write meme in chat, I'm deleting your emote.
Game paused.
Forever.
Whoa.
Oh. Yeah.
Avex.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
Avex.
yours.
I know you're watching chat, bro. What's going on here, Avex?
They're like, they're snoots. Like, they say
He does
they're
have.
liquid
He has more supply. Yeah, he's 13 out of 30. Look at the supply. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Well, let's leave, and we'll have to pick another map. This sucks because it's really hyped up to talk about this map and how it's great and freaking.
Well, Avex is here, so. Oh god, that's funny. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say.
We say that the map maker goofed, and now we don't get to test that map. That's what that comes down to.
There's no way I mismade it. It's the one that's linked in the Team Liquid chat.
Yeah. So for
go
those that don't
blame
know,
me,
you can use this
Avex.
like BattleNet link to get a map directly. So there's no like searching for it and like we searched for the wrong one. We copy pasted the link that Team Liquid provided. So nice map, Snute. Yeah. It was him who had the pylons. After all.
Yeah.
Suspicious.
Coincidence? I don't think so. Well, there's still 6 other maps?
Something like that, yeah.
Just how does two like surprise pylons even come?
This is such a Alright, looks like we're going to Maxwell platform.
All right. This one is already bookmarked.
Alright, let's... Platform, oh wait, is this the 3-player one?
Hold on. Yes.
Ah. Actually, I'm curious about this one because of the naturals.
Yeah. I think I saw Snute really punish someone for this. Oh, no.
No, we watched poor Fear get wrecked by Hearthstone through AI.
Well, no, Snute did also punish a Terran. He punished Hero Marine or someone because he did like an early Ling attack, I think. That started the game off kind of on the wrong foot.
Well, it's been a little bit of time, so that reminder that uThermal still leads the series. It's game 6, 3-2. So Snute is still on his last life.
Yeah. So I want to see the reasoning. Like Avex can give us insight into why.
Well, he's I guess that's apparently a cannon rush spot, so maybe they were testing cannon rushing and just forgot to remove the data files or something. I don't know.
Right.
I don't quite care. We have moved on, and we are in a brand new map. It's a best of 7, and as stated, this gentleman here on the bottom left side of the map is still on his last life. Playing for Team Liquid, it's the Blue Zerg Snute. Liquid Snute.
In the middle right is the red Zaren. It is Liquid uThermal.
Actually, that says Thermi, and there's no U in his name. Oh wait, it says Liquid. Fuck.
Well, you messed up there, but I was also gonna counter with there's plenty of times we have to cast the Smurfs. Smurf names. And do we call them by their Smurf names? No. Do we call Neeb by Neeblet? No. That's right. That's right.
I know we're talking about, but I'm just thinking of like Smurfette, Papa Smurf, Brainy Smurf, like Gargamel.
Yo, okay, I have actually a story about Smurfs. I was just gonna let you hang on that one, but
While you tell the story, show off the natural too for people who haven't seen this, because it's a pretty ridiculous natural.
Yeah, you can look at the natural. 2 entrances, one over here, one over there, and apparently don't enter through here because there's a Thor building or something.
What is that?
That might just be a Viking or a Thor.
Oh, it's like the top half of Thor, but it's like a chronostasis Thor or something. There's like shielding. Is it cloaked? His legs are cloaked. They're there, but
maybe?
they're cloaked. How is it halfway cloaked? What's happening? My brain can't. Okay.
Well,
Anyways,
look, it's
your
a
story.
science
Go on.
facility. So, yeah, well, we look at these maps and maybe see if Snute would do anything weird. Oh, he's gonna have to scout first. Wait, didn't he scout that? Maybe the AI just did that. Anyway, my grandparents' house had a lot of weird things. Like, they recently had to get rid of all the religious idols that were around that would like creep people out when they stayed in the house. And my grandmother had a weird fascination with like mice. So there's a bunch of like mouse themed things that are like kind of cute and whatever. They also, I remember, had a suitcase kind of thing filled with Smurf toys. And I sometimes had nightmares about Smurfs coming out from underneath the bed because that's where they would keep the Smurf toys.
But the Smurfs were friendly, so why would you have a nightmare about it?
Well, I didn't really like the Smurfs. I liked like Tom and Jerry and other things. And then because Smurfs are kind of weird, man. Like, come on now. It's not just me. Anyway, I said we should pay attention to see if Snoot's gonna do anything, just because I figured, with uThermal expanding, that already kind of gets rid of the ideas of Terran doing something weird early. But a Roachborn can still come down, that's exactly what happened. uThermal might not be able to scout it. And even if this is technically faster scouting, it's not too much faster. I mean, just a little hop, skip, and a jump right on over there. So this could be deadly. SCV sees the roaches, Lings following suit. And you get an illusion clock, all in caps, for the 2-month resub. Nice. And let's see how this is held. uThermal is going for 2-1-1. He starts building a Marauder. And a Cyclone is on the way from that factory, too. I think that is worth as opposed to trying to get that starport.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot better than sacrificing stim time to get that tank too. I mean, what Snoot's doing is actually very abusive and abrasive, but it needs high ground vision is the issue. So 2 Ravagers going down so quickly like this. Let's not forget the Cyclone still has yet to come out into play. He's held pretty nicely.
Yeah.
If this was actually just a command center, you can start arguing about Snoote's damage, but the fact that he got this into an orbital before having to retreat it, like, it's gathering energy, it's going to be able to drop mules.
Yeah, this is looking pretty bad. I mean, this was nice anticipation tactics, I guess, from uThermal, who didn't play scared. He knew exactly what to do with the build that was at hand. But I also feel like you see this build a lot more against... Alright, that's it! Took 20 minutes to get to a final game that took 4 minutes, but that's whatever.
I know, right?
That's fine.
Okay, that's going to be a 4-2 for Liquid Thermi. Now, here's the thing, guys. We talked about this earlier. I'm going to bring it up again. There's the part where you want to vote on the maps. Honestly, though, with the public opinion already being what it is... oh, thanks for playing, guys. With the public opinion being what it is, it's very clear which 10 maps I think we're going to be using. That being said, you still have time to vote on the maps. We'll let that run until probably about 5 p.m. Pacific, but then we do have to actually lock it down so we can give players the map pool. But this poll is going to be a little bit shorter. We get the Grand Finals Resurrection, it's called. All right, this is where we really need you guys to give us your thoughts and opinions. You can only pick one name on this list out of the 16 foreigners who competed in the tournament. So we're going to talk a little bit more. The stream's not totally done just yet, but we are going to go to commercial break and take a moment here. And when we do, please fill this out so we can get an idea of which players you guys are looking for. We can start contacting them and tell them to maybe be on standby. And then later tonight, we can lock them in type thing. So again, Grand Finals Resurrection, you can only vote once. And more importantly, you can only vote for one player. So think carefully about who you want to come back to these finals.
Welcome back, everybody. The stream is over, but we have some end of stream things to talk about.
It's more accurate to say the stream is ending. It's not quite over yet because we do actually want to hang around for a few minutes here on purpose. So, if you guys haven't seen the link in chat, it has been spammed several times by me. It's also up on Twitter. We want to invite 2 players back to the finals that you guys think will have a fun time to watch. That will test the maps a little bit further. But of course, more importantly, they'll be in there for another $1,000 potentially. Each map in the grand finals is going to be worth $100 per win, and 10 maps will be played. So, for example, if a player in the round of 8 who only won $200 is resurrected back, then they can win up to $1,200. On the other hand, they might lose all the maps too. I don't know. But the point is it will add on to the money they've already earned. So it's going to be a really cool scenario. I don't want to report publicly on who's winning because, that'll influence votes and all that. But I will say we have 1 Terran and 2 Zergs presently.
Oh.
As the prime candidates. I would not mind a TvZ, I'm going to be honest with you. The other part of it is the maps. We've had about 78 people cast their votes on the maps. Come on, we got like a couple thousand people tuning in. Folks, we need you. We need you to voice your opinions on this.
Do I get a I voted sticker?
Nope.
Oh. Maybe if we did, then more people would vote.
I'm surprised anyone's voting for Gumnung-san, by the way. The stupid force field map. That should have 0 votes on it, in my honest opinion.
I thought it was Huang-san, so maybe that's what happened.
People just keep misclicking it. That's the logic here. Anyways, we bring this up because tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, all that stuff. 10 a.m. Pacific, we'll be starting a best. I guess I don't want to call it like a best of 10, but it's like a 10-match finals. All 10 maps are gonna play out. It's gonna be pretty fun. It's not quite the 15 that we did last year, but I think that this way it gives better vision to the maps and also helps weed out the ones. Like if it's clear through public opinion, like before the Team Liquid voting completes, before Blizzard sees anything, if it's clear that like some of these maps just did not make it to the contest at all, that already speaks leaps and bounds about what the fans think of it. And of course, for the players, it's a combination popularity contest. If this was like just something done through Twitter / Nation War style. But I actually have a lot of faith in you guys, our fans, to vote accordingly who you think would give the best games, who you think would make the best matchup. Luckily, we've been pretty blessed. Oh, hey, there's a Protoss now in the top 4 contention slot.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! But anyways, please, we'll leave the polls open until probably about 5 p.m. Pacific. But I do have to actually like contact players and say like, hey, we need you to come back. And if we wait too long, then they're not going to see it till it's too late. So again, tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific, please come back. I hope to see you guys there. I do want to talk a little bit, though, about the wildcard group while you guys continue to vote on things. We have recently learned about the IEM schedule being much different than we initially thought it was going to be. And this wasn't necessarily entirely our fault. It was a little bit our fault. But it was only our fault in terms that IEM didn't tell anybody anything and we had to find out on our own.
How is that our fault?
It's not. The point of this is, though, guys, it turns out IEM is going to be gobbling up a significantly larger amount of time than we had initially thought. And this creates problems for us because we just don't have anything to do for almost 2 weeks. Starting Saturday the 25th, when I officially move into my place, we pretty much have nothing to cast essentially until Sunday the 5th. It's all IEM Katowice all week, and it's unfortunate for us content creators. So what we've done is the wildcard group was already played out in secret. Nobody should know the results of this other than the players and myself. Because I stayed up late to admin it, so we don't even have like an admin who can leak the information. That was played out on the 21st. We had originally planned to cast it today/tomorrow, but then GSL and all these other things. And now we realize that we don't have anything to do, but we have all these wonderful replays. So March 3rd, which is a Friday, we'll be casting the Ting wildcard group from replays. It's Stats, Gumiho, Kelazor, and Super. So all Protoss Altern. And hopefully that'll help bridge the gap in our really big content hole. But after IEM is complete, though, we have like a week of Ting. We got the EU wildcard, like all the round of 16 into the round of 8 directly. And I'll wrap things up really quickly so that we know who's going to be going to the Ting offline finals for Season 3. On that same note, I would like to discuss some players that may be having problems with this. Sue is one already that we witnessed get through to the round of 16 for Ting, but he's also advanced in GSL. So we're going to start discussing with the players, like, we don't want to screw you out of this. We want to have you, have a chance to win and play and have this as your backup. But the reality is, if any of these guys make it to GSL that are still in Ting, they're not going to be picking Ting over GSL for the finals. And we don't want to waste tournament play with casting tons of games and them not being eligible. So we'll start talking to the players and we'll start working things out. We absolutely don't want to have anyone miss out on this, but we also don't want to cause unnecessary conflicts and problems at the same time. So anyways, mark it down. We don't have it up on the calendar. We'll get it up there later. March 3rd is going to be the wildcard group cast from replays. And I guess actually we don't have to do that at Korean hours. We can probably do that like 10 a.m. or something.
That's exactly what we can do.
Yeah, it's replays. We can do whatever the fuck. We can do it at 3 p.m. No, nobody watches StarCraft at 3 p.m. But anyways, hopefully that gives you guys a little bit better of an insight as to what's going on, because we've just had all of these issues. Most likely the time for it will just be like right now we don't even know the time IEM plays out. So once we know the times, we'll craft it around that, because we obviously don't want to be broadcasting during IEM and all that stuff. Anyways, I think that pretty much wraps up most of the big announcements for things. Yeah. Other than that, we got the Corsair Cup on Friday. So an open tournament for anyone who's not quite in Katowice yet. And yeah, just make sure to vote. Please vote, guys. We got about almost 100 votes on each of these polls. Please get in there. Please vote. Please make your voices heard. But I've been speaking a lot, so Zomgrab, I'll let you wrap us up.
Okay. Any point did you get that last sub?
No.
Thank you to Uleon for the 15-month resub.
Uleon.
Follow me on Twitter at ZG Gaming, on Twitch, ZombieGrub, YouTube, ZombieGrub, Patreon, ZombieGrub, and look at the Amazon links down below. I guess since we're going to have so much time off, I'll probably be streaming on my channel and actually doing stuff. So, yeah, just make sure to follow me over there.
I'll try and co-host her. Maybe we do some TV2s or team games or something. I'll stream it here. But, yeah, follow me, Riff_Kings. Follow the channel. most importantly, go to our YouTube, youtube.com/BaseTradeTV.
Yeah.
Check out our cool map intros, I guess, and that's all I can really think about.
I think that's about it,
Yeah,
man.
just have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow with those grand finals.
Bye.
Bye.